Feel like someone's messing with your head? They probably are. Manipulators don't need superpowers, just psychology. In the following minutes, we'll expose manipulation tactics used to control, confuse, and corner you without you even realizing it. It's not magic, it's Manipulation 101. Let's decode the playbook. Gaslighting. Operation Mind Fog. One day, you're sure the kitchen light was on. Next, they swear it never was. You start Googling early signs of memory loss while they sip tea like nothing's wrong. That's not forgetfulness, that's psychological warfare. Making someone question their memory, perception, or even sanity. The more you doubt yourself, the easier you are to control. And that's the mission. Oh, and yes, the term comes from the 1944 film Gaslight, where a guy dims the lights and convinces his wife she's imagining it. Creepy? For sure. It's a psychological horror classic, brought to life. Guilt tripping. Operation Emotional Compliance. After all I've done for you, boom, guilt deployed. Suddenly, your choices aren't choices, they're betrayals. Your empathy gets hijacked, and you're cast as the villain. Science drop. Guilt lights up the anterior cingulate cortex, your brain's social pain center. That sting you feel when letting someone down. Manipulators aim for it like snipers, because pain makes people compliant. Future faking. Codename, promises. They paint a beautiful future, grand plans, shared dreams, and forever talk. But none of it is real. The promises are bait, designed to keep you emotionally invested. You're not dating a person, you're dating their fantasy script. Science drop. Future promises trigger dopamine, making you crave the idea of the reward more than the reward itself. And once you're emotionally in, your brain fights to stay consistent, even when reality's screaming, run. Triangulation. Codename, third-party crossfire. Why manipulate one person when you can pit two against each other and watch the emotional fireworks? They drag in a third party to spark jealousy, confusion, or rivalry. And suddenly, you're not arguing with them, you're auditioning for their attention. It's not a love triangle, it's a control triangle. Science drop. Triangulation triggers social comparison, making you question your worth, status, or place in the relationship. The more uncertain you feel, the more power they hold. Projection. Codename, reverse Uno card. They lie, cheat, or manipulate, and accuse you of doing exactly that. It's not denial, it's a full-blown psychological smoke bomb. Suddenly you're defending yourself against their behavior while they sit back looking innocent. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's deflecting hardest of them all? Science drop. Projection is a defense mechanism where people offload their own unacceptable thoughts onto others. It's the ego saying, I can't handle this, and let's make it someone else's problem. Playing the victim. Mission. Innocence activated. Nothing is ever their fault. They're just a fragile soul in a cruel, cruel world. They're always misunderstood, always mistreated. Never mind the trail of chaos they leave behind. Sympathy isn't a cry for help. It's their favorite manipulation tool. Science drop. Victim playing taps into emotional manipulation and impression management, psychological strategies used to control how others see them. By appearing helpless or wronged, they trigger your empathy and deflect blame, making you less likely to hold them accountable. Ghosting. Operation. Vanish without a trace. Everything seems fine, and then poof, total silence. No warning, no explanation. 1 minute they're everywhere, and the next, it's like they never existed. Ghosting isn't just rude, it's emotional abandonment. Science drop. Ghosting activates the brain's rejection and uncertainty centers, lighting up the same pain circuits as physical injury. The lack of closure creates cognitive dissonance, leaving your mind stuck, searching for answers in a conversation that no longer exists. Love bombing. Codename, the charm assault. At first, it's fireworks, constant affection, praise, attention, gifts, sweet nothings on loop. You feel like the main character in a rom-com until the script flips. Once you're hooked, the warmth turns into control. And suddenly, love feels more like a leash. It's not romance, it's a sugar-coated Trojan horse. Science drop. Love bombing floods your brain with dopamine and oxytocin, the chemicals linked to trust, bonding, and reward. That emotional high creates fast attachment, making it easier to manipulate you once the honeymoon ends. Intermittent reinforcement. Codename, the casino effect. One day, it's affection and compliments. The next, cold silence. Then, surprise, a random I miss you out of nowhere. You never know what you'll get, and that's exactly the hook. You're not in a relationship. You're pulling the lever on a psychological slot machine. Science drop. This tactic mirrors variable reward schedules, the same principle that makes gambling addictive. Your brain chases the next emotional payout, not because it's working, but because it might. If you find this helpful, please hit the like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's expose these tactics together. Conditional love. Code name, strings attached. Affection isn't given, it's earned, and the price is obedience. Love becomes a currency and it's not free. It's performance-based. One wrong move and suddenly you're out in the cold. Welcome to emotional capitalism where love has terms and conditions. Science drop. This tactic exploits operant conditioning, a process in which behavior is controlled through the use of rewards and punishments. Your brain learns to equate love with performance, creating anxiety, not intimacy. Minimization. Codename, downplay, and misdirect. It wasn't that bad. You're overreacting. Decoded. They're not clarifying. They're shrinking the story to make you feel irrational. Your reaction becomes the issue, so they can skip the accountability part. Science drop. Minimization plays on gaslighting principles and triggers emotional invalidation, which chips away at your ability to trust your own feelings. Over time, your brain starts suppressing emotional responses, making you quieter, more doubtful, and easier to manipulate. Foot in the door technique. Codename, the soft entry. Can I ask a tiny favor? Sure. And now you're 3 favors deep and somehow watching their aunt's houseplants, and you're knee-deep in their tax documents, wondering what went wrong. It's not kindness, it's manipulation by escalation. One small yes cracks the door wide open for bigger asks. Science drop. This tactic relies on commitment and consistency bias, a cognitive shortcut where your brain tries to stay consistent with past behavior. Say yes once, and you're more likely to say yes again, even when the requests start getting ridiculous. Blame shifting. Codename, the Teflon technique. Nothing sticks. Not guilt, not fault, not even facts. If it's always someone else's fault, it's not bad luck, it's strategy. Science drop. Blame shifting taps into the self-serving bias, a psychological defense mechanism where people attribute success to themselves but deflect failure onto others. It preserves their ego at your expense. Bonus move, Darvo, deny, attack. Reverse, victim and offender. They deny what happened, then go on offense, accusing you. Finally, they flip the script and play the victim, leaving you dazed and apologizing. It's not just blame shifting, it's psychological judo. Fearmongering. Codename, panic protocol. Without me, you'll fail. You can't trust them. If everything sounds like the trailer for a disaster movie, spoiler, you're being played. Fear isn't a warning, it's a leash. Science drop. Fear hijacks the amygdala, your brain's threat detector, making you more reactive and easier to control. Scared brains don't ask questions, they follow orders. Silent treatment. Codename, radio silence. They vanish, but not to cool off. Silence becomes a weapon, not a pause. No talking, no texting, just icy withdrawal designed to punish or control. You're stuck guessing what you did wrong, while they enjoy the power trip. Science drop. This triggers social rejection circuits in your brain, the same ones activated by physical pain. Your brain processes that silence like a threat, pushing you into anxiety and self-blame to restore connection. Information withholding. Codename, Intel blackout. They don't lie, they just don't tell. Key facts vanish, answers get vague, and you're left filling in blanks with anxiety. When info only flows one way, you're not in a relationship, you're in a controlled operation. Science drop. This exploits information asymmetry, where one person controls the knowledge and therefore holds the power. The more uncertain you feel, the more likely you are to comply, to keep the peace. Passive aggression. Codename, smiling sabotage. They never yell. They smile while twisting the knife. Backhanded compliments, accidental slights, weaponized forgetfulness. It's hostility, wrapped in politeness and dipped in denial. It's not what they say, it's what they don't say that hits hardest. Science drop. Passive aggression plays on covert hostility, forcing your brain to decipher mixed signals. That emotional dissonance creates stress and makes you look like the problem when you finally react. Isolation. Codename, divide to conquer. It starts subtle. They're jealous. They don't get us. Then, one by one, your support system goes dark. Soon, it's just you and them, and their voice becomes your reality. No outside input, no perspective, just control. Science drop. Isolation increases emotional dependence, weakening your sense of self and boosting their influence. With fewer social cues to challenge their version of reality, your brain might start treating their voice as the truth. Emotional blackmail, codename love under duress. If you really loved me, you'd do this. Guilt is the gun, and your empathy is the ammo. They don't ask, they pressure, tying your love to their emotional ransom. Your choices aren't free, they come preloaded with guilt. Science drop. This tactic exploits emotional coercion, triggering fear of abandonment and guilt, two powerful behavioral drivers. The result? You comply, not out of love, but to escape the emotional fallout. Threats and coercion, codename, the ultimatum game. Do it, or else. They don't talk with you, they pressure you. Leave, expose, punish, sabotage, whatever it takes to force compliance. This isn't a conversation, it's a hostage negotiation in disguise. Unlike emotional blackmail, which tugs at your heart, this goes straight for your fear. Science drop. Coercion activates your threat response system, flooding the brain with stress hormones, such as cortisol. Under pressure, logical thinking shuts down and obedience kicks in. Spot the tactic, break the spell. Manipulation only works when it hides. Now you see it. Trust your gut, protect your mind. Share this with two people who need to hear it before someone rewrites their reality too. And if you're done being played, hit like and subscribe.